It's time for baritone music. Let me go post the link on the website, which is jollyrogerukulele.com. And then let's tweet. I always tweet baritones. Poor baritones. Let's see. Baritones. Jolly Roger Ukulele. Yeah, we're going to go to Jolly Roger Ukulele. I'll post a link to join each day at the top of the page. Paste and then shift link, enter, edit, settings, open a new window, update. That allows all the baritone players to swing by, pick up their music for the day, and then come by and join us. Then from my little thing, I can also tweet now. We can tweet things. And so I have been tweeting https://jollyrogerukulele.com. My face shows up. I hit tweet. And Over the River and Through the Woods is what we're working on today. There it is, as far as I know, the only Thanksgiving song that's of any merit. So, and usually we change the word out of Thanksgiving to Christmas anyway. But let's see here. All right. We'll wait a couple minutes for everybody to get in. It's 10:04. I better go download my music. I don't have it downloaded into my machine yet here. So while everybody's logging in, first person in will probably tell me, hey, sound is good. And there's Cindy. She's the first one in. She's saying hola, because Cindy in her soul has a lot of Hispanic heritage, and how most people, most Oregonians are, and so we're delighted to have her today. And Lanny is in. He says the sound is good up in Weld County. Terry is in from the neighborhood. Cindy says finally the sound is good. Okay. Remember, guys, tell us where you're from and give me a weather report because I want to know if we're winning or not. We're having decent weather here today, except we got a temperature inversion, so all the pollution is being held down on the ground. And when you look out there, you're like, oh, God, that's what I'm breathing? Ugh. Over the river, let's see, we're going to download baritone. And we're going to put it over here into download baritone. Go back to the cloud, hit download. Hit OK. And we're on. By the way, we're also going to work on Minuet today. We only have 3 days this week, so we got to cover 2 pages of that today, along with 2 pages tomorrow of Minuet. So plan on hitting it pretty hard here. All right, let me get out of that one place. Download baritone. Over the river and through the woods, the grandmother's house we go. How do you alphabetize? M comes after, O comes out, and there it is. Over the river. Baritone. All right, awesome. Who else wanted in? Vic, sound is good. Taking all these. I know, Vic. You're trying to graduate too soon. I think that's the problem. You're taking go from class to class. You got 5 minutes. You got to run pee and then come back. Yeah. We should have a virtual hallway you have to walk along and with lockers. Maybe I'll put that on one of the websites. And we need a kid named Richard who beats you up. Let's see, I'm trying to remember who beat me up. I didn't get beat up after elementary school. Let's see. What was that guy's name? Oh, I remember. Who's calling me? I'm teaching. No, now my phone is like, nope. That was spam. That's got to be spam. Log into my secret account. I had to put a lock code on my screen, and I do not like it. All right. Everything on here can be dealt with later. That's as a musician, don't you feel like that? Everything's like, well, I can play music or I can deal with paying my bills. I think I'll play music first, and then I'll pay my bills later. Let's see who else came in. Terry in from Denver. Oh yeah, Terry, you do not need to give me a weather report. We have the same weather. Let's see. Good weather, bad. Yeah, we have bad air today. All right. In Colorado, what happens, at least on the Front Range, the warmer air gets stuck on the ground, and then the colder air blows over the top of the mountain, so it it gets called a temperature inversion, and so the warm air stays on the bottom stuck. It can't get out, and then all this pollution builds up, and we call it the brown cloud. And we've never really fixed the brown cloud. What they did was they changed the gasoline so that we can't see it as good as we used to be able to see it. Back in the 80s, it looked like a brown cloud was hanging out, and now you can still see a little bit, but not like you used to be able to. My tuner has decided it's not interested in tuning this guitar, so yeah, it is what it is today. Let's see. Diane, good morning. Love the new baritone. Can't wait to get the strings. Yay. Yeah, Diane swung by the parking lot. Well, she didn't swing by the parking lot. I swung by her parking lot, dropped her off a baritone, and it's a beautiful instrument. Hopefully she falls in love with it completely. I think the weather is different Terry, that's my dividing line, right? If it's north of Colfax, I don't need to go there. That's if it's north of Colfax, that's too far north. And if it's east of Colorado Boulevard, oh my God, why would you do that? Don't just stop. Colorado Boulevard's far enough. Frankly, I barely ever go past Downing, but going south, Alameda, that's the line. Got no reason to be over there. And to the west, it's I-25, right? That's it. And anything on the other side of I-25, it's just Vikings that live over there. You just don't need to be dealing with it. So let's see. North of Colfax. I am quite the meteorologist, right? I know. Honestly, since I was a little boy, the evening news has been something I love. I love watching the evening news, and so the morning news, you gotta get up pretty early. You gotta get up at 6:30. Most days I'm okay at that, but not every day. But the evening news, I love it. I absolutely. My favorite one, 5:30 on ABC. David Muir comes on, and it's like, bum bum. The world is falling apart. Here are all the tragedies that you need to know about. And it's like tragedy, commercial. 5 seconds of tragedy, commercial. And I love that. Donna hates watching it. She's just like, I don't want to watch that. It's all depressing. And I'm like, that's my favorite thing. You're just positive the world is going to explode in any minute when you listen to him. And then at the 9 o'clock and 10 hour, I either watch the local channel. I think it's channel 31. Is that what it is? And then the channels don't match up with cable anymore. Used to, or channel 7 or channel 31 usually. So I have a crush on Jeremy Hubbard and Aristea Brady on channel 31, so I watch them a lot. Yeah. Oh, I said the Viking, right? I was like, it's just animals that live out there, but a lot of the people in the orchestra live on the west side of town. Right now, you're thinking, is he ever going to teach any guitar? Over the river. As far as I'm aware, I did take a brief survey of the other Thanksgiving songs, and apparently there's 40 of them. Then I haven't heard even one of them. This is the only song that I know is for Thanksgiving, and so I wanted you to have it. And then I actually did what I feel like is a pretty decent job on the arrangement. I looked through, dozens of different versions of this. Everybody changes the words. The original poem that Lydia wrote is very, very old-fashioned, and so a lot of over the years people have updated. The first two lines are pretty much straight from what she wrote. Over the river and through the woods too. She went to grandfather's house. Grandfather's house we go by, but everybody sings grandmother's house these days, so I put grandmother. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh through white and drifted snow. Oh, that's pretty much the same in all of them. In all of the versions, but then after that people get kind of creative with what they're going to put in there. I put in what I think is sort of the standard wording, but if you grew up singing this a different way, put in your words. The other thing to pay attention to, let's go to measure 15. I want to show you something that I decided to do. Rather than give you a bunch of pages, I just overlay this. But what you have to know, if you're playing along to 15, over the river and through the woods, oh, how the wind does blow. That how is only one note. It's only 1 5, but on the tablature it shows 2 5s, right? Or two things. You're supposed to know when you're listening, when you're playing along and reading the lyrics, that that's just a quarter note there, not 2 8th notes. it won't matter, but as an instrumentalist, it doesn't matter at all. But if you're singing it and you decide to play along with the melody, you got to remember to not do both fives. And that shows up in several places around here. As most poets do, they're not thinking about it as lyrics, they're thinking about it as a poem. And sometimes the syllables don't exactly line up perfectly. So just know that that's sitting there waiting to mess you up. And let's run through the chords real quick, make sure that we're okay. I'm not going to sing this one because honestly, it's not good. But the other thing I did, Sean McGowan runs the Denver University of Colorado at Denver's jazz guitar department. He's a great musician, but he's a seriously good guitarist. And he put out a few years back on Acoustic Guitar Magazine, I think, his version of Over the River. And what he did was a typical jazz guy, does it in one key, then he switches, modulates to another key, then he modulates to a third key in that piece of music. By the time he gets to the third version, the chords no longer make any sense. The melody starts to get a little wonky, the whole thing. And it's actually very cool. I'm not criticizing it all, but it's not particularly useful for the stuff we do. But I did take some of his ideas about chord substitution, trying to make this one a little bit more than the standard 1844 issue of this. And so some of the tones may be a little bit different than you're used to. I think that they're good though. And I don't think it necessarily messes up the playability of the regular song. So let's run through, just make sure we know what all these look like. D chord, index, middle, and ring. And then an E chord. Okay, we've done that one plenty. C sharp minor, you're just going to see that. You're going to see a lot of times when you have an E chord, you're going to see a C sharp minor hanging out. Doesn't that sound beautiful? And then back to your D chord. B minor 7 is just lift up your ring finger. It's got a jazz feeling to it. That's the influence of Sean McGowan. Scott McGowan. You get one of those. E7, Sean McGowan. And then back to A. Not back to, you hit A for the first time. Okay. And what's fascinating about this arrangement is the song really is an A, but we hang around the D chord a surprising amount. Or, well, maybe we don't. Now that I'm looking at it. All right. So now then, grab your A chord. Over the river and through the woods to D chord. Grandmother's E7, E chord. House we go. And now here's a little bit of jazz in here. Horse knows the way to carry the, and F sharp minor is a bar on 2, ring finger up on 5. Sleigh through, and then this B7 will always sound awesome. White and drifted, and snow. Oh, that's the dumb part of the song, but it's fun to sing. Over the river and through the woods to, oh, how the wind does blow. And then just to make your A7, just lift up that middle finger. Okay, now you can tell, we're getting to a point where we're going to be making some decisions about how the song goes the rest of the way. Okay, it stings the toes and bites the nose as another, and then B minor shows up. Over the ground we go. Okay, so it's not your standard issue Over the River. It's got some kind of cool chording in there. And again, I thought up a couple of the chords, but not all of them. So I definitely was swayed by his approach a little bit. I think just getting a little bit more sophisticated sound in there is kind of fun. Let's play the melody, make sure we know what we're doing with the melody. The intro is quite different than the rest of the song. The rest of the song, the melody is going to make sense to you. And then we'll talk about the ending that I put on there. That is pure Gary at the end. And I think it actually is going to be fun to play. So let's just do the melody. 1, 2. Oh, it's in 6/8, so I'll count it in 2. 1, 2. Okay, so that 7 jumped up and surprised me, right? Probably grab the 4, then go to 5th position so that you can get 7, 5 in without messing it up. Okay, from measure 5, go. turn around and you go back. Okay, so the melody for the most part makes sense, and it's not a great melody by any stretch of the imagination, but it's comfortable, right? And so, other than the intro and the outro, well, even the outro, I took it out. Even, the only high note is that 5/7 right at the end of the intro. So you would grab your dun, 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 dun. And a lot of people play this song really fast because, they're thinking of this horse going through the forest really fast. But as instrumental baritone players, we're going to play it with a lot more sentimentality and a lot more thoughtfulness. All right. Let's walk through the entire Tough You. There's plenty of things to talk about. I will tell you, if you're a singer, the song is set up, you play through it 4 times altogether, and the MP3 is set up to play 4 times. You're supposed to sing verse 1, then verse 2, then verse 3, then go back and sing verse 1 again. So it's about a 6.5 hour long song, and I would say probably the first verse is plenty. But we'll play through it twice, right? Because basically it's the first part and the second part are more or less the same with a very minor variation. So it feels very super crazy repetitive. And by the time you've been through the entire song as written, it feels like you've been through this 8 times, and it's too many. Okay. So I'd say play it twice through. Make sure the verses make sense to what you did as a kid if you did this song. Okay. D chord with your pinky. You're going to take this and you're going to slide back to the E and drag your pinky back 1 fret. Okay. Ring finger grabs the 2 and then jumps up to the C sharp minor. You're already on the 2, and then you have to make a change. And then this will sound cool. 0 2 2. Dum dum. Right? That's not a sound you would have put in 1844. Okay. That's all me, by the way. 3-0. And then A7 with the 4. Slide up 7 and slide back to the A chord with your 5. Okay. Bum. So it's complete in and of itself. I thought long and hard about putting an E7 at the end of it. Dum. So if you want some drama there, but I don't think you need it. Okay, now measure 5, got a regular A chord. Ring forward, ring finger up and back. Okay, D chord with your pinky. Slide back to the E chord with your pinky. Ring finger and then A chord. Decorative. O. Okay, this is a B minor 7th, but the melody makes it look like a D chord, so just play a D chord. Slide your index finger back to 1, and then grab your 2s. And then I have been just jumping on the bar with my ring finger there. Okay, slay through, and then B7. Ring finger on that last 2 there, and then an E7, and then a nice strum. Oh, okay, A chord. D chord with your pinky at 15. A7. D chord with your pinky. C sharp minor, F sharp minor, open, B minor. Oh, this is something that I kept doing over and over. B minor, but you've got to drop your middle finger out, and since you've already got your ring finger up here, you're going to have to switch out for your middle finger to your index finger. Over the ground with snow go. Okay. So it's a much more pensive version, and a little bit with those jazz chords mixed in there. Just feels a little bit more, maybe a little bit sad. I don't know, a little more depth in the overall chord structure than we might typically have used with a song like this. And since you're going to be sitting at home having Thanksgiving with a very small group, hopefully this year, give you a chance to just do a beautiful, more thoughtful version of Over the River. Okay. And then I will talk, this would be the time to talk about the measure 21 to the end. So we'll play it through once, and then we'll go through and play it through a second time. The second time through, you just roll right through the repeat and play 21. So you got a D chord, and then you're going to have your E chord with the 4 again, and then an A chord, and then F sharp minor. That sounds like something from the 50s, but then I fix it with a D, E7, and then A. Okay, and I put an A with a bar. Okay. And those of you who are fingerstyle, okay, those of you who are thinking this is your new thing, look at 21 just with me for just a second. If you're in 6/8, okay, so between every chord there's 2 notes, okay, so you would be okay, so as in your claw, you hit the chord, and then it's index middle, and then hit the next chord. Okay, so that's what you're thinking about as you get to the end there. Ba-da-dum, 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 bum. Okay, that's what you'll be thinking about fingerstyle wise. This thing is all eighth notes and quarter notes anyway, so it's going to be hard to do much extra decorative wise. You might find a few places to toss in a note here or there, but I think for the most part it is what it is. All right, so that's it. We'll take it nice and slow. I'm going to play thumb my first time and claw the second time, and we'll see how they sound. Obviously, if you're newer to baritone, guys, this is all we have, right? So some of you are newer. I would not be focused overly on these chords. These chords are going to come up enough where you're going to be able to play them long term. There's nothing here that's particularly unique, but play the melody if you're brand new. Yeah, absolutely, because that's never going away, and that's something I want you to be really good at. And this melody is sort of easy to get along with. Okay. From the top, 2 times through. 1, 2. Oops. Back to 5, go. Isn't that lovely? I think it's fine. I think it's. I'm pleased with that. Let me know how you're playing. Let me make sure that you're still that you all haven't gone out for cinnamon rolls without me, and I think it plays nice. We're gonna play it tomorrow and the next day as well, and hopefully that makes sense. I did go through and add a little bit of fingerstyle stuff on all the quarter notes, and it actually works just fine as well. So if you want to add in a little bit of decoration on those, anytime you see a quarter note, either hit your low string or your third string when you're playing in claw, and kind of decorates it just a little bit, makes it just a little bit more pleasant, a little bit more lively. I don't know, just a little bit more sophisticated, maybe. I don't know if any of those words apply to it. Let's see. Jerry says arrangement's good. I have to be honest, because it's the only Thanksgiving song I know, and we're going to do it on all the instruments, right? And so all weekend long, I was arranging it for this instrument and that instrument, and my wife is very iffy on her enthusiasm for this song, and she said, "Are you done with that yet?" I'm working on it, trying to get it knocked out. But I do like it, and like I say, I did. I can't take complete credit for everything in here, but I do think I was at least inspired by Sean's ideas of, hey, let's take the song and we'll jazzify it a little bit, and then we'll jazzify it a lot, and then we'll turn it into something that doesn't even seem like the same song. and he's so just know there are levels. Right? And at some point you're like, I don't know. I kind of want it to sound like Over the River or Through the Woods. Remember the song from the childhood? Yeah. It's not one that gets played a ton. It's kind of old fashioned, and it's about really, most people change out the word Thanksgiving for Christmas and treat it as a Christmas tune. So that's why it comes up. But we're hammering it in for the next 3 days, and then after that you can put it in the box. All right. So there's Over the River. I like the arrangement. I hope that you do too. Let's go grab our minuet. And let's run through minuet in D for baritone. As far as I know, the only problems with the piece that you have is that the chords run in a couple of places. The chords run into the stave above it, and so it's just a layout problem. At some point, I will clean that up, but it's not so bad that you can't read what's going on there. I'd like to do two things. The chords here again are standard issue chords. I'd like to play through measure 33, because at 35, well, we'll play through 34. At 35, things turn into a different song. So tomorrow we'll dig in from 35 to the end, as we did on last week. But today I'd like to play through sections 1 and 2. I want to treat them as one piece of music. So in other words, I'd like to play down through 16, then go back to 1, play down through 15, jump into 17, play all the way down through 33, and then come back and play 18 through 34. Okay, skipping 33. Okay, so again, part of this is making sure you're understanding how the repeats work, and part of this is just making sure that they go together as one continuous piece of music. This is a really fine piece of music. This is as high a level as, well, frankly, people just don't play baritone like this. And so it's nice that you guys are getting some really fine music here to make yourself, like kind of rub it in people's faces. And because that's what music is about. That's what music has traditionally been about, right? It's very competitive, it's very stratified, it's very elitist, and I, of course, work in exactly the opposite mode. My job is to make it not that way, and but every now and then you need a piece that makes you sound like, I'm very smart, right? And this is one of those pieces. So what I want to do, I'm going to play, if you're a tough euchre, I want you to play tough uke, thumb and claw, all the way through. If you're newer, just play the melody. I am going to play the melody through down to 16. Then I'm going to come back and play the tough uke down, and we're going to skip 16 the second time through, and we're going to play down through 33. I will be playing tough uke. Actually, I will switch to melody the second time through in the second part of the song from 17 through 34. 3. Then we will come back and play from 18 down to 34, and I will return back to the tough uke section on that. I will remind you at measure 24, it's unfortunate, it's right after the page break. When you're coming in, 22 is not bad. 23 feels surprisingly scary. And then right after that, on page measure 24, you got a 9 with an C shape in front of it. Okay, it sounds cool when you get there. Okay, but just be aware, you got a big old scary A chord dropping in 24. Okay, so top part twice through, bottom part 17 through 33 twice through. I'm going to play melody the first time, and then I'm going to switch to tough axe. If you are a tough axe person, you should play tough axe both times. If you're a melody person, you should play melody both times through. If you are tough axing, right, you probably ought to think about thumb one time and claw one time. Again, just trying to, I'm a hoot. That good or bad? What we want to do is be building toolboxes. When we're here in practice, who cares, right? You're trying to find your best way of playing these tunes, and then you will find at the end of your time your way, the way that you do this the best, and then you will live with that. Okay, so from the top, I'm going to play melody the first time, tough the second time. I think I said that 10 times. 1, 2, 3. To the top. Shoot. I'm going to start from measure 1 again. I'm not sure what happened there. Where am I at? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I went to the second. I went to measure 11 instead of 5. Let's start from measure 1. Second time through. 1, 2, 3. Second ending. I'm switching to melody. You stay on tough if you can. Sorry. 0323. To measure 18, go. Second ending. And then you would go on into, and then you go into this page, the second half of the song. Okay. So how are we doing on time? We got 9 more minutes left. Good morning, Linda. Welcome in. Let's talk about one, the smoothness, and then getting your quarter notes and eighth notes clean and nice is going to be the first most important task, right? So paying attention to bum ba da 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 bum bum bum. So not going too fast through the quarter notes, but also not going too slow through the eighth notes. So trying to get that clean and neat and orderly would be very Baroque in its approach. They didn't have metronomes then, but there would have been the expectation: tap 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 somehow to get things and nice and neat and orderly for that. And then the second thing would be to be thinking about speeding up as much as you can. You can do bum ba da bum bum bum, and that's probably how I played it on piano. But your real goal is bum ba da bum 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 ba da bum bum bum. So getting a little bit more speed behind there, which of course we don't work on speed ever around here because I don't think it's not something that we need to work on as a group. But what you should be working on as once you master a tune, once you're like, yep, I really know what I'm doing here. I got this thing put together. I'm ready to make this thing a little bit better than the next guy's, right? And that's usually about making sure you just have all of your finger choices really solid and then picking up the pace. The other thing I would say for sure, since it's Baroque music, probably this cloth shape. I played it with my thumb the whole way through. So it's fine. Okay, it works. It's beautiful. But to get that classical music feel to it, you probably want to be thinking about claw playing. It just feels more classically. The other thing, and I'm noticing here, I brought this home from the studio. It's been sitting over there. I thought I better take it home and hydrate it a little bit and play it a little bit. I love this instrument, but no button, therefore no strap. Therefore, as I'm busy trying to play claw on this hand and get what we have to do over here, ukulele's flying all over the place, right? So if you have a baritone and you don't have a strap on it, you probably want to fix that. And this probably all of you guys already do, but you just order a strap from Amazon and it comes and it usually has the little metal button inside. You might want to check in the description if it hasn't, but you're going to drill a teeny tiny little pilot hole right down here in the middle. You measure across, right? Find the center, and there's a block of wood in your ukulele right underneath here. Okay, and so you're gonna draw a little pilot hole through here, making sure study up on pilot holes, and take a drill to your ukulele, and then you'll screw that button on here, and then and then you put your strap on, and you're going to be able to play this advanced level material. But I know how to play this advanced level material, and I can't. I'm fighting, holding on the instruments all over the place, right? And if I've got this where it's strapped down on me, that eliminates that as an issue, and my hands can really be free to do their work. So if you don't have a strap on your baritone yet, you ought to get that way. Um, as far as I'm aware, unless you happen to have the original baritone built by Kamaka, I would say you can go ahead and run a drill hole through it. If you paid anywhere less than $1,000 for your baritone, you can take a drill to it. Okay. I used to take, guys, back when I worked at a guitar shop for a very short period of time, and I got sort of well known as the guy that sets up strats, and all these guys in town would come bring by these super nice instruments, and often I would have to take a hammer to their frets and this type of stuff. So yeah, that's a little nerve wracking. Running a little pilot hole into the bottom of your baritone isn't too scary. So, all right, so marching orders. I want on Wednesday to be able to play Over the River and Through the Woods convincingly, okay? Because that's something that, in the off chance you've made the crazy decision to let other people into your house on Thanksgiving, um, um, tell them, hey, if you're coming over, one, you're probably going to bring me coronavirus, and I don't, and if you're going to do that, I'm bringing you Over the River and Through the Woods on baritone ukulele, and we'll see who suffers more. Baritone. So on Tuesday, so tomorrow and Wednesday, we'll play that. I don't have music for you guys posted yet for Tuesday and Wednesday. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do there, but I'll find us some music to play for sure. It'll be more Christmas music. I do want to get, we have Hanukkah coming up, I think December 10th, and so I got 2 or 3 Hanukkah songs that are not terrible. uh, that three turns out music from 3,000 years ago it's not that melodic, and so we'll be doing other stuff on Tuesday and Wednesday, but tomorrow for sure we will be covering the second 2 pages of the Minuet here. So if you are sitting around the house going, oh, what should I do with myself? Should I run through the house screaming and yelling, or should I play Bach Minuet parts 2 and 3 and 4? You should do that instead. And then so that's the marching orders. By Wednesday, I want to have Over the River and Through the Woods handled. I want to have Bach Minuet handled, and then whatever else we toss in on Tuesday and Wednesday for more holiday tunes, we'll do that. And that's what I know. That's your baritone plan for the week, and we won't meet Thursday and Friday. So there's that. All right, is the chat box broken, or are you guys busy playing Over the River and Through the Woods? I don't know. Whatever's going on. Thank you guys for being here. Again, remember, you are the ambassador for this instrument. Nobody's playing this thing, and everybody should be playing it. And so let's make sure to let people know what you're up to. Let them know we got these classes going on. Looks like we've got a good thing going. I'm getting more and more emails of people asking me, Barrett, kind of, they sort of just find out about what's going on here, and they start asking a couple of questions. And there is more interest in this instrument, and we're doing a great job with it. And so I think you should feel super excited to let other people know what's going on. And and by the way, baritones are pretty cheap, so it's a nice instrument to get people going in, and not so much guitar players. They got a whole separate way of thinking, but other ukulele players or people who haven't played music before at all, this is a really nice choice. So all right, good. Vic, Terry, Lanny, Cindy, I'll see all of you tomorrow, and some of you later today. Remember, we do have orchestra tonight. It'll be abbreviated probably because it's the week of Thanksgiving, and we probably aren't going to have that great a turnout, but we'll do some music, and there's more baritone stuff there. And if you're not a member of the website, you should get that way. Go to the subscribe page and read through that, and it's a PayPal setup thing if you haven't done that yet. But we do baritone as an ensemble instrument in that. group. So it's a different way of playing baritone. Okay, guys, I'm going to unplug the plug. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you all either later today or tomorrow. Oh, you're welcome, Linda. Yeah, it's going to be good.